Hey, happy Sunday, everybody. NFL football Sunday. Sorry I haven't been making videos the past few days. I've been doing other things. I get busy with school, which is what I've been doing stuff for, and just have other obligations. Um, but for football, I definitely always do them. And I'm going to be doing a reaction to the Flyers game today, plus some on the game yesterday, because they were both two great games together after this video. But this is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Borick. This is going to be a look ahead to the Eagles and Vikings at Philadelphia, and a little bit on the Patriots and Jaguars that's going on right now. We'll start with them because it's going on right now. The Patriots, if you're watching, drove down the field and got a field goal on the first drive. So now Bortles, Fournette, Ivory, TJ Yeldon, the Jaguars squad is going to come out on offense and try to at least match their field goal. I think the Patriots will win this game. Who I want to win this game is Jacksonville. But if I had to pick a team that I would predict to win, like if I were betting on a team, it would be the Patriots. So that's the little quick tidbit on that game. Now, the Eagles and Vikings have two of the top-tier defenses, some of the top-tier defenses in the league. So I think it's appropriate with this game to actually compare the defensive first and then care about the offense later, because this is probably going to be a more defensive game. This is going to have to be a very quick takeoff for somebody if this becomes an offensive game, because this has the makings to be a very defensive game. The Vikings allow about 15.8 points, so we can round that up to 16. That's first in the league. 275.9 yards, or like 276. That's also first. 192.4 passing yards. So that's second. 83.6, or like 84 rushing yards. That's second to us, who were first. Then if we look at the Eagles defense, we are 18.4 points allowed, which is fourth, 306.5 yards, which is fourth, so that's about 307, 227.3 yards, which is 17th in the pass, and 79.2, which, as I said, is first in rushing. The Vikings do typically on offense try to mix in the running game a little bit with McKinnon and Murray. But if it doesn't work, they'll just do Stalin, Diggs, Rudolph, and the passing game, because Keenum's been carrying that pretty well this year. But both of these defenses are pretty much have great up-front guys. The Eagles might be the team that's better suited as like the up-front big line guys that can just trash people, because we have Graham, we have Cox. Another guy that's really good at tackling that got injured early in the season would have been Hicks at the linebacker position, but Kendricks is coming in and doing great this year, showing he still has a lot to offer. So sometimes injuries show another guy still has a lot, so that's a blessing in disguise. But imagine next year with Kendricks doing this great and having Jordan Hicks back in the linebacker position, that makes the offense even better. Sidney Jones, when he has a full year to have health this whole offseason, probably won't be active at all this playoffs. I doubt he's going to play today. We'll have the whole offseason to get ready and get into shape, and people still think he'll be one of the best corners out of the draft, so that adds a lot to our defense, plus whatever we choose or could choose to do in the offseason to add to our defense. So both of these defenses could get significantly better, because all those things I said also go for both teams, what they could possibly do. But it's going to be a battle of seeing who can mix in the run the best so that they can open up the passing lanes more, which I think predicting the Eagles will mix in the run the best, because we have the better offensive line. They have a pretty good offensive line, but we have the better offensive line. And also the better rushing attack. McKinnon and Murray are having good seasons. Murray, I believe, has 8 touchdowns in the season. McKinnon doesn't have a lot of touchdowns, but has like 600 yards, as Murray has almost like 900 or 850. But they do give it to like Murray when they get in the red zone, so you got to be aware of that. But they don't run it like the Eagles all around the field. So the Eagles need to be the team that's more concerned against the second rush defense to actually be able to run the ball, because the Eagles like opening their offense by running the ball since Carson Wentz's injury, because Foles isn't a guy that you can drop back and pass a lot, because then whenever you got a rush, he can run out of the pocket. He can't do that, or backup can, kind of, Sudfeld, but Foles cannot, and we're playing with Nick Foles. So we need to really open up some passing lanes to get some play actions to be able to move the pocket in the Foles way of moving the pocket, with just like stepping like Brady and Palmer and Rodgers, and two of those guys great. Andy Dalton, two of those guys, average quarterbacks, they kind of like get back and move side to side to move the pocket, not much like Rentz, who rolls out and makes all these great plays. So you have to run the offense a little bit differently that way. I think the Eagles will win this game, but they will win this game by a touchdown at most. I think it's going to be within a field goal to a touchdown range, because I think it's going to be a big defensive battle where something happens in the end that gets us that field goal or gets us a touchdown to put us over the top. So I think it's going to be a very exciting game. A pretty defensive game, though. I peg it to be a low score. But I think we win by a field goal to a touchdown range, which is about the range they gave the Vikings to win. So I think if I was betting this game, I would bet on the Eagles and say they would win by a field goal to a touchdown range, going against the odds of what you're doing the exact opposite of what they predict is going to happen. But they were wrong last week, which means they can very well be wrong again this week, which I predict, and I think many of us do, that they will be. So let's go Eagles. Let's go Bird Nation. Let's go Bird Gang. Let's beat those Vikings. Let's go Birds. This has been Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Borg. This has been a look ahead to the Eagles and Vikings. Peace out, everybody.